Citizen first is our motto. We believe that our citizens need to be connected with government for faster and efficient service delivery. I am happy to announce that we are coming up with a dedicated CM helpline call center.
I would like to take this opportunity to reply to this budget debate, sir, and I would like to thank all the honorable members who have participated in this budget debate. Honorable member from Nongkrem, honorable member from Nongpo, honorable member from Jirang, honorable member from Makurwat, honorable member from Salmanpara, honorable member from Juwai, honorable member from Ampatti, honorable member from Karkutta, honorable member from Mohati, honorable member from Ramrai, from Mawsynram, from Amlarem, from Mokundru, from Dalu, from Nongstoin, from Gambegri, from Sora, from Mokayo, from Maulai, from Songsak, from Shela, from Soyong, from Rangsakona, from Mawshunrut, from Dadingri, and from Shillong North. So I would like to thank them all for the participation. And sir, without going into details of all the points that all the members have mentioned, so I take this opportunity to really explain on this entire budget speech and also in the process reply to some of the concerns that MLAs had at a larger scale, sir. Because we have to realize that the budget speech is regarding the entire year's expenditure and also vision document for the next 5 years. And hence, sir, while I had presented the budget on the other day, today I would like to make a presentation on the budget, sir. And with your permission, I have asked and sought your permission, sir, if we could use the technology that is available of the large screens where I would like to put up the presentation where I will be explaining on.
Yes, you may.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the first slide talks about the mission. Next. So this is what we have been discussing, and this is what the government has targeted. This is a Mission 10 budget where we talk about what we will achieve when MDA government completes 10 years. It's a document that talks about the $10 billion economy and the creation of 5 lakh jobs that we will have in the next 5 years of this government, sir. And we focused on 10 opportunities and 10 guarantees. Next. So this is not simply being spoken because of numbers that we would like to talk, but these are figures that show you exactly how the growth has been. So if you look at the graph, from the financial year 14-15 to financial year 18-19, there has been a CAGR of 7%. That's the growth rate of the state. But if you look at what happened after that from 2021 to what we're projecting for 2024-25, we are seeing a growth rate of 12.2% already, sir. And hence, to achieve the doubling of our economy, we need to get up to 13 to 14%. And hence, we are already in the trajectory of 12 to 12.2%, which means, or which is explaining that we are on track, and this target is not something that we may not be able to achieve. Next. Sir, also keeping in mind what is Government of India's plan, which is really to reach a $45 trillion economy. If you look at the dark blue line and the graphs that are there, that shows what India government is working on, and that 45,000 on top is actually the $45 trillion economy in the year 2052, which is when India will be developed. This is the Viksit Bharat goal of the Government of India and the Honorable Prime Minister. And if you look at that, sir, we have mapped ourselves with the 10 number, if you can see on the left side. We will go up to $150 billion economy by 2052 and be part of that growth story of what Government of India and Honorable Prime Minister have in mind, sir. Next. So keeping again with the entire aspect, we are not just again talking in air. things are actually happening as we speak. Again, sir, if you look at this graph, you look at the growth rate that has happened from 2015 to 2018-19. The graph was just simply moving in a very, very standard manner, and this is the actual expenditure that has taken place. But if you look at the graph from 2019-20, 2021, you can see that the expenditure from the year 18-19, which was at 12,000 crores. Of course, we had a challenge because of COVID, it went down to 10,000. But after that, if you look at it, it went down to 13,000, again went up to 18,000, went up to 21,000, and then went up to 25,000, and now this year we're targeting a 27,000 crore expenditure, sir. And what is also very important to notice is that if you look at the expenditure from 2015 to 2025, our expenditure will actually triple in 10 years' time, sir. From 6,000 crores or 7,000 crores, we'll be reaching 27,000 crores, tripling the economy within 10 years, sir. And most of this growth has taken place in the last 5 years. It's important to also note the second last column, sir, or row, which says capital expenditure. And if you look at the capital expenditure, even in the year 2018-19, where the number was 1,903, in 2018-19, today, if you look at the capital expenditure in the last column, where the budget estimates are given, it stands at 7,419, which means this government is actually spending on infrastructure, roads, buildings, things and investments that will make the difference and take us to the $10 billion economy in the next 5 years and take us into $150 billion economy in the next 20 to 30 years' time, sir. So how does this happen? And I'll just show you next. Is that if you look at even the department-wise expenditure, you look at education, sir. The blue chart in education, the first one, it is expenditure in 2018-19. Whereas the expenditure this year, 2024-25, is going to touch from 2,000 crores to 3,500 crores, sir. If you again look at health, which is the fourth column, sir, you will see that the expenditure has gone up from 1,000 crores in 2018-19 to today at 1,971, 1,007, almost double, sir. If you look at roads and bridges, which is the second column, the expenditure in 2018-19 was 1,100, and this year is going to be at 2,100, more than double of what it was 5 years back. Similarly, urban affairs, it is the third last from the right. It was at 93 crores in the year 2018-19. This year we'll be spending almost 1,000 crores, which is a 10-time increase. And so on and so forth. In almost every department you can see, sir, the expenditures are actually going up. Next. So if you come to all of this spending, the question that everybody asks, where are we spending from? All the loans that we're taking, all this debt that we're taking. Sir, this is a misconception that needs to be clarified. The 27,000 crores that we're going to spend, if you look at the numbers out there, you can see, sir, that the largest amount is actually from the share of central taxes. That is a 9356, the one in gray. If you look at the light yellow one, these are the centrally sponsored schemes that come in, so 9371. And if you look at the next is 3557, which is the state's own tax resources. And then, of course, we have the state's non-tax resources. And this is the source of the receipts of the money that will be spent on different activities and development work of the government. Next. Sir, this is a very important point to note, that the government of India and the overall economy, Indian economy, is doing very well, sir. And thanks to the hard work and the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, we are moving towards becoming, as I said, Viksit Bharat, which is the goal of the Honorable Prime Minister. So you can just note the last line. Share of central taxes have doubled from 2019 in 4,212 crores today to 9,466 crores. Now, how has this happened, sir? And if you look at the number again, this has happened because of the Finance Commission's devolution of taxes. Sir, as you are all aware, that Finance Commission distributes the taxes to different states based on a formula. And these are the direct taxes, which is the corporate tax and the income tax that is collected. So this formula is formulated by the Finance Commission. During the 14th Finance Commission's time, if you look at the second line, it used to be 0.642% used to be the share for Meghalaya. This is the formula, sir. But in the 15th Finance Commission, it was raised to 0.765. The percentage seems very small, sir, but when it comes to actual figures, it's in hundreds and thousands of crores. Now, how did this happen, sir? This happened because when Mr. N.K. Singh, the chairman of the 15th Finance Commission, took over, there was a very strong lobby on behalf of the hill states that there should be some special consideration for hill states. We had a very important meeting of hill states in Uttarakhand. I attended it myself. And we pitched as northeastern states and hill states that there should be special consideration and there should be more devolution of taxes to the northeast and especially to the hill states, which is Uttarakhand and Himachal also. And I'm thankful to the chairman of the Finance Commission, the 15th Finance Commission, where he increased the overall percentage from 0.64% to 0.76%. And hence, apart from the increase here and the performance of the Indian economy, today, in matter of 4 years, sir, the share of central taxes today has gone up from 4,212 crores today to 9,460 crores, which is more than double. This is one of the main sources of revenue and the expenditure that we are doing. A question that opposition is not here, but I don't know, maybe they didn't want to hear this reply. But this is the actual factual situation that our revenues are going up. The share of central taxes has doubled. These are actual figures, sir. Next. Sir, another area which we have to look at is the externally aided projects. Again, sir, for the knowledge of this house, externally aided projects, though they are called loans, it comes as a grant of 72% to the northeastern states. So if we take 100 rupees, 72% is paid by Government of India. So it is more or less like a centrally sponsored scheme where we have to only pay 28% from the state government side. And that too, we have to pay it as the project moves. It's not a loan. So it's an expenditure from our side and 72% grant comes from central government. And if you look at the last line on that, which says EAP expenditures increased, the amount went up from 499 crores in 2019-20 to 1,699 crores in 2020-24-25. So almost triple the expenditure. Again, sir, I said, if you look at the 1,600, 1,700 figure, if 70% comes from grant from Government of India, that is almost close to about 1,200 crores has come as grant from Government of India. And this has happened because our absorption capacity has gone up. This has happened because our departments are performing better. This has happened because the expertise have been brought in, and this expertise have helped us to ensure that we are able to comply with all the requirements of different banks and institutions so that the funding pattern and the release of money is faster. And more importantly, if you look at the line, on the second line where it mentioned that we have 7,234 crores, 33 crores of EAP projects being implemented right now, and 3,978 are in the pipeline, sir. So this is a very, very important source of additional funds for us, which is coming in. And this is not a loan, though it is from World Bank. Government of India takes the loan and it gives a grant to the northeastern states. And that's why this is a very important aspect which the state government of Meghalaya has been able to tap, sir. If you look at the chart out there, sir, this is what we call the CAPEX. So this is a special capital assistance, which is an interest-free loan, which Government of India is giving all state governments for the payments to be made after 50 years. So it's almost negligible in one way. And this amount today, in fact, if you look at the last line, which says Consolidated Sinking Fund. So for the knowledge of the House, I'll explain that a Consolidated Sinking Fund is an amount which the state government has to put in order to be able to keep funds for future payments, and it is done against the borrowings. So 0.5% of the borrowings has to be put in a consolidated sinking fund, which we are already doing. And since this will be an interest-free loan, which Government of India will pay the interest, the impact of this after 50 years is almost going to be negligible. State government of Meghalaya has been able to take full advantage of this. And today, from 2020 of having just 200 crores, in 2023-2024, we were able to mobilize 1,812 crores. So CapEx, EAPs, the central share of central taxes, everything today has gone up, and that's the reason why our expenditures are increasing. Next. Apart from that, sir, if you look at the centrally sponsored schemes, again, a very important source of revenue for the state government. And if you look at in every figure, for example, this is MG and REGS. We started out the figure of 820 crores in the year 2018-19. And this number has doubled in the year 2020-21 to 1,500. We dipped a bit last year to 1,000, but again, we are up to 1,200 crores. Just one example of a CSS scheme of MG and REGS of how we are able to leverage and get maximum benefit, again, sir, because of the capacity for the state government to absorb and implement schemes in a very, very aggressive manner. Next. Again, sir, just another example of the centrally sponsored schemes. MG and REGS 820 in 2018-19 to 1,200 in 2022-23. PMAY, if you look at it, sir, 140 crores in 2018. Last year, 423 crores, but the House will be happy to know that this year we are spending 1,700 crores for PMAY. This is the highest ever expenditure on PMAY ever by the state government. JJM, which just 27 crores in 2019-20. This year, or rather last year, we spent 1,455 crores of money from centrally sponsored scheme for this. NRLM, 54 crores in 18-19. Today, we are mobilizing more than almost close to 400 crores, and NHM the same, sir. So therefore, the implementation has been good. We have been working well, and it's not just one department, sir. It is the overall governance of the state and the implementation that has gone up, which has helped us to mobilize more funds to the centrally sponsored schemes. Next. So this is a very interesting chart again. Again, if you look at the numbers, this is the number for the state's own resources. And this, somebody was questioning earlier that why are we depending on center? So this is how the federal structure of the country is. We are entitled to receive those taxes from Government of India, which we do. But that does not mean we are complacent on our own taxes. So look at the number in 2018-19. 2,221, extreme left. I know it's a bit small, but it's 2,221 for, those who cannot see clearly. And you look at the number in 2020-24, which is the last figure, sir. And you will see that we are going to touch 4,788 crores, which means in matter of 5 years, we are doubling the state's own resources also, sir. So we are not lagging behind. We are moving forward. Many reforms have taken place, which has allowed us to double the revenue of the state. Next. And so these are happening because we have taken a lot of reforms, sir. I don't want to go into everything, but just small things like in excise, sir. Just a simple thing of prepaid ad valorem. Today is allowing us to touch excise revenue of over 500 crores. We have a different process of rationalization of rates for the taxes of petrol and diesel, and so on and so forth, sir. Digitization, automation, all these different reforms that we have done have allowed us to double our revenue from 2,000 crores today to almost touching 5,000 crores. Next. So this is the chart I would like to spend some time to explain because a lot of members had raised questions about this. Sir, So this is important because I'll just share with you. You cannot see it because there's that small flag is coming at the bottom. Yeah, thank you so much. So the dotted orange dot line is the provisions that is given by Government of India. Oh, sorry, the blue line is what is Government of India. No, sorry, orange line is Government of India, sorry. And the CAG is the line which is there in the blue, in the blue dotted one. And the gray one is our actual fiscal deficit. Now, there has been some observations on why, for example, in 2018-19, the actual fiscal deficit went up to 6.14. Then again in 2020-21, the fiscal deficit again showing is going up to 7.48, sir. So there are two reasons for this. First, which I would explain, which is a simpler one. Sir, what I had explained last time, or just 2-3 slides back, there is something called capex. So if you can see at the bottom, there's a last few lines that says excluding capex. So capex is this 50-year loan, which actually should not be included in the debt of the state as per the, the provisions under the rules. But CAG put it there. And hence, technically speaking, because central government actually is taking the entire onus of this loan, but since they are not putting it in their books, it was forced onto the books of the state. Now this amount is there for every state, but it is a gray area where technically it does not come under the calculation of the fiscal deficit. And hence, in the year 2020-21, where you see the dotted line of blue and the gray, the gap between that is what the capex is affecting. But more importantly, why did the fiscal deficit go up to 6.14 and 6.85 in 2018 and 2020-21, sir? So this is slightly technical, but I would like to explain. So basically, if you look at a fiscal deficit, what is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is total receipts excluding borrowings minus the total expenditure excluding repayments. And whatever the deficit is met by borrowings. So hence, obviously, concerns are there that why is the fiscal deficit so high? Now, sir, if you look at the chart in 2018-19, that was an election year, sir. Because of the election year, the expenditures that were meant to be made in 2017-18, the then government could not make those expenditures because the election code of conduct came in. And hence, there was an opening balance of 1,600 crores, 1,600 crores of the previous year's budget in the opening balance of 2018-19, which means we started off with a cash balance of 1,600 crores. Now that expenditure has to be met. And hence, because that amount was there, in the reflection of the expenditures that took place, apart from the 3% fiscal deficit that was happening because of the normal budget presentation, this 1,600 crores was added to that expenditure, and hence this number shot up to 6.14, which means it was never meant to be there. It was an opening balance of the previous year's expenditure which could not be spent, and that deviated the numbers and it came to 6.14. Similarly, sir, again for the 2019-20 we faced similar problem where again there was an amount of unspent amount of 800 crores which was there from the previous year, again because of elections, could not be spent, and there was an opening balance of 800 crores in the year 2020-21. And therefore that was added into the calculations of the expenditure, and that again, inflated the deficit numbers, but that number or the 800 crores was never meant to be in the calculation of the budget of 2020-21. So therefore, in both these spikes, the main reason is the opening balance of the cash which could not be spent the previous year because of election, which was again put in the next year, sir. So therefore, those are numbers that are outliers, as we call them in statistics, and therefore they're not making. What is important to note, sir, is that the grey line now is slowly going down. And that going down line is now moving towards that orange line, which is what the Government of India and the FRBM Act mandates, sir. And what we're doing is ensuring that this line continues to be in that line, and we are in the process of streamlining this entire fiscal deficit issue. Next. Sir, at the same time, just to again, the high fiscal deficit, the last part, again is explained there that the high opening balance cash of 1st April 2018 was at 1,680 crores, which again, inflated the overall numbers, because this was, as I said, not cash meant for that year, but it was cash taken from last year, but the expenditures made in the year next to the elections, after the elections, but it reflected in the expenditures, so the numbers spiked up, sir. So these are the kind of issues that were there, and sir, again, just so that everybody is clear, that governments borrow throughout the world, sir. Everybody borrows. There is a normal thing. It's not a wrong thing to borrow. But then what is important is, number one, our revenues also are going up. So it's not that our expenditure is going up just because of borrowing. I've shown to you, sir, the share of central tax has doubled. The EAPs tripled. The CSS doubled. The state's own resources doubled. Obviously, sir, we have more money to spend and we spend. So it's not that we're spending everything from loan and from debt. And if you look at this, sir, debt requires consent of Government of India. So we cannot just take debt as we wish. Based on the economy of the state and certain rules and provisions, we have to follow this. And therefore, this entire concept of this government going into complete debt-funded development is completely wrong and a completely wrong notion, sir. And I would want to clarify that to this House. As I said again, sadly, the honorable members from the opposition are not there. Otherwise, they would have got the clarification, or maybe they didn't want the clarification. That's why they left, sir. So having said that, next. Sir, there was also, of course, a lot of concern about this entire third worst state in terms of the per capita, the GDP of the states, and Meghalaya being at that last bottom three. So this one, I just want to clarify again, is that if you look at actually our growth rate in terms of the economy, the per capita income actually went up by almost close to 36%. So if you look at the third line, sir, during that period, from 82,000 crores to 1,12,000 crores, sir. More importantly, sir, this is the time when the government started to put the reforms into place. This is the time when we started putting different mission mode programs. We started investing in the economy. We started spending more. And the impact of that is now being seen in the growth rate that we are seeing, sir. So obviously, it's not that we press a button and tomorrow the GDP goes up. It doesn't work like that, sir. Economy is a process. Policies are a process. You start the work and the impact starts coming in. And my first slide has shown that the GSDP is going up by 12% every year. And at the same time, our expenditure also is going up in an exponential way, sir. So therefore, the impact of what the government is doing will show in the coming years. It cannot happen just immediately. And this NHFS, the National Health Family Survey, based on which this bottom third GSDP was being mentioned and quoted everywhere. So it was for the period of 19 to 21. And hence, as I said, that is a period when our programs were being put into place, and therefore the impacts will show in the coming years. Next. So this is again a very important slide, just to sum up the growth momentum that we are having. And if you look at almost every sector out there, sir, the size of the economy was 9,587. It has tripled to 25,000 crores. Investments in EAP were at 2,000. It has gone 5 times more to 10,000 crores. Capital expenditure at 1,400 crores has increased 5 times to 6,549 crores. State's own receipt was at 1,878 crores. It has increased 2.5 times to 4,020 crores. Rural roads, which was at 1,695 kilometers, has gone on 3 times to 4,348 crores. Rural habitation connected houses from PMGSY from 70 villages today has gone 9 times in the last 5 years to 658 villages. Jal Jeevan from 4,500 connections has increased 108 times to 4.85 lakh connections today. From 5,800 self-help groups, 8 times increase has been there to 45,000 members. Sir, this is a kind of growth momentum we have achieved in the last 5 years. And sir, based on that, next, based on this momentum, next, this is what we are ready for. So we are not talking in air. We have set the policy and the system in place to move forward. Next. And that's why, sir, if you look at the details, can you enlarge this? If you look at the details of this 10 opportunities and 10 guarantees, so this clearly reflects on all the areas that we are working on, from investment promotion and private sector development. This is very important, sir, because we need to ensure that private investment comes in. Today, sir, we will be passing the new investment promotion policy. The bill will be cleared today. It's a very, very important growth engine for our state, sir. The border trade that we need to pick up. The ITES sector is a huge opportunity for us. The women in our society are already showing the way, and we hope that we can do much more. The urban transformation of Shillong, Jowai, Tura and other areas will be a very important part of our growth journey and opportunity. The youth will be very important. Tourism will be important. Power generation, we just came out with a new power policy yesterday. The income of the farmers, and obviously the environment issues that are there, and a green and climate resilient economy. These are the opportunities we see where we can really move forward. The guarantees stand as our way of looking at how we can give back to society, how we can ensure that the basic services at the grassroots level are there for the people. So while the economy grows, how do we ensure that every citizen is part of that growth? And hence, we should have physical connectivity to almost every village. We will move forward to ensure that we saturate connection to every villages. All houses should have piped water connections. All villages should have internet connectivity. All eligible household beneficiaries should have houses. Everybody should have reliable and stable power. We should ensure that when we work with the community, because our society is a community-based society. How do we build community infrastructures so that we can involve and engage the community with us to ensure that service delivery, the governance that we have, that can be made easier to the public. Healthcare is a very important part. Education, which is the joyful and quality learning, and obviously caring and an empowered state where we look at the marginalized section of our society and how we can help them. And therefore, so these are the 10 opportunities and 10 guarantees that we're focusing on to really be able to now leverage on what we have done in the last 5-6 years to now take the growth momentum to an exponential level and achieve the goals that we would like to achieve. Next. So therefore, sir, I will not go into all those areas, but just to touch on a few of them so that people understand that, again, that we're not talking in air. We are talking with facts and figures and realistic numbers. Just a small example, in the last 3 years, sir, we have been able to create 2.35 lakh jobs in these different opportunities. Allied sectors, agriculture and allied sectors, 1 lakh jobs. Self-help group of NRLM women, 1 lakh jobs. So this 1,03,000 we have, sir, is not number we just took out from air. These are registered enterprises. So women, self-help groups, those who started their business, 1,03,000 of them, they're registered, and those are the ones that we are showing out here. The skill-based employment we created, tourism we have created, entrepreneurship through Prime we created, and IT sector we created. So 2,35,000 jobs were created in the last 3 years. Next. And in the next 5 years, sir, we are looking at creating 5 lakh plus jobs, sir. And if you look at the sectors which I had mentioned in my reply a couple of days back or yesterday, these are the sectors where we expand and we plan to grow, whether it's 2.5 lakhs in the agriculture and allied sectors, and so on and so forth, sir. Next. So again, looking at the self-help group, just to show an example to everybody what's happening, sir. So we had, if you look at the second line, which says today we have from 44,000 self-help groups, which have 4,37,000 members, sir. And in the last 5 years, we have given them 700 crores as mobilization money, which is revolving in the accounts of these different women self-help groups, out of which the total community fund was about 400 crores and bank linkages was about 300 crores, sir. And as I said, 1 lakh jobs were created in this sector. In this year alone, to promote more job opportunities in this sector, we are going to be investing 389 crores in 2024-25. Next. And similarly, sir, again, this is just to share with you that these are the different enterprises. Again, just detailed numbers. And obviously, in the bottom column, you can see actual numbers of these enterprises district-wise, sir. So this also has happened. Next. So CM Elevate is going to be one of the most important programs and maybe one of the most aggressive programs to build entrepreneurship in the entire country, sir, you can say. program amongst the different programs, the most aggressive in the country, but obviously applicable in our state, is the CM Elevate, sir. And with this program, sir, we will be targeting almost 20,000 new enterprises. And we intend to give the subsidies in this format. So if you look at it, sir, a wellness center will get 35% subsidy. We intend to have 40 such units. We have cinema theaters, 30 units, we will give 35% subsidy. Going down all the way to, say, sericulture and weaving, we are giving 75% subsidy. So like this program will be a very, very important game changer to create new jobs. And we have already, we are targeting 7,000 units this particular year, and we'll be distributing 136 crores to make this happen this year. Next. And therefore, so the application process for this is very simple. It's an online portal, and anybody who wishes can apply for this. So just for the knowledge of the House, we have received over 30,000 applications in 2 months' time. Next. So skill development is also going to play a very important role, sir. And therefore, many sections like textile, tourism, agriculture, CNRD, we will be providing different skill programs under the Skill Meghalaya scheme, sir. And we're targeting that 1.2 lakh youths will be trained in the next 5 years. And what is most important to note, sir, is that based on our past experience of the trainings that we have given them, we have seen, sir, that an investment of 20,000 rupees per trainee on an average is giving an annual income to these trainees of almost up to 1.5 lakhs. The second last line. So the average income per trainee has been, expected to be up to 1.5 lakhs, sir. This shows that the Skill Meghalaya program is working and shows that we must, as a government, focus more on this. And this has been done based on our past experience of the last 2 years, where these numbers have actually come out to be true, sir. And hence, we are going to focus a lot on this and create the skills. Sir, the last part is very important if you look at the last line, overseas placement. Sir, I'm happy to inform all of you that in August 2023, we had registered 1,000 nurses to be trained for overseas placement, sir. And 264 have started their training. But more importantly, sir, 26 of them have already got a job in Japan. And most probably, after the different processes are cleared, these 26 nurses, or they call them the health workers out there in Japan, these 26 health workers will be leaving for Japan sometime in May or June month this year, sir. And like this, in UK, in Dubai, in Australia, Japan, in all these different parts, not just nursing, but we will focus on ensuring that we facilitate this process of allowing our youth who would like to go for overseas to be able to succeed in their goal. And what is important, sir, to note is that while the government is hand-holding them, helping them in training, these individuals will become important individuals to bring in foreign exchange for the nation and for the state. So on an average, these nurses, sir, will earn anything between 1 to 2 lakh depending on the job profile. So if they earn 1 to 2 lakh per month, and if they're able to save even 50% of that and send it back home, and you multiply that into 1,000 nurses, or even 2,000-3,000 nurses in the coming years, it'll be a huge source of income for the families and a big source of foreign exchange for the state and the country also as a whole. Next. So similarly in tourism, if you look at it, in the last 5 years, what we have noticed, that we have been able to create an additional 5,000 jobs, or 4,000 plus, 5,000 new jobs were created. And if you look at the two sections in the presentation, sir, that we had approximately 44,000 jobs pre-pandemic. And if you look at the third line, the fourth line, so we have currently 50,000 people employed. So it's been an increase of about 5,684 new jobs have been created in the last 5 years. And this was possible because of the 465 crores of investment we made in the last 3 years, sir. So now our plan is to invest about 4,000 crores in the tourism sector in the next 5 years. And hence, if we were to apply the same formula as above, we expect that this would create up to about 50,000 new jobs. Next. So in the information technology section also, if you can see the first slide of the Shillong Tech Park, this is actual, sir. We have 1,500 direct employment and 4,500 indirect employment, sir. The second phase also will create 3,000 direct and 9,000 indirect employment. And the Shillong and the Turang Tech Park also is expected to create 3,000 and 9,000. So total, in the last row, you can see the total that says we expect to create about 30,000 new jobs. And more importantly, sir, we have also put the IT policy in the domain, public domain, and we will be incentivizing the establishment of different IT parks and people coming in and investing in the IT sector so that direct and indirect jobs are created. So we expect these numbers to go up, but as of now, whatever the projects that are there in the pipeline, we are sticking with those projects, but we will definitely expand and push this sector even more in the coming years. Next. So primary sector, which some of the members were really mentioning about, I just want to share what the government has done in the last 5 years, sir. So we have spent almost 700 crores in the last 3 years for value chain development. What does that mean, sir? About 52 crores was spent on area expansion for 14 crops: khasi mandarin, ginger, spices, herbs, passion fruit, cocoa, coffee, etc. Apart from that, sir, prime hubs were created, 10 of them operational, 16 ongoing, and 8 upcoming. We spent 160 crores in the different prime hubs, which act as training, incubation, and different forms of facilitation center for the entrepreneurs. So 343 agriculture infrastructure microprocessing units were put up throughout the state at a cost of 111.91 crores. Interest-free loan of almost 36.8 crores was given to the farmers, and 205 crores worth of focus money was given to different focus groups and individuals. Next. So this is a small example. I know it's a bit small, but if you can just expand it. This is important, sir. So this is an example. Just go in the top right-hand corner first. Yeah. Start with that. Perfect. So this is what an example of what Lakadong turmeric or Lakadong farmers had to go through. So pre-mission, we have something called the Lakadong mission. This is just an example, sir, to show you how things have been happening. So pre-mission, there were 1,000 Lakadong turmeric farmers. There was a difficulty in getting planting material. The low individual volumes were there, limited awareness, prevalence of middlemen, so on and so forth, sir. What happened, sir, after the mission came in? Just go on the right side. From 1,000, sir, today, we have 13,000 farmers who are involved in Lakadong. That's 13 times an increase, sir. We are supplying them sufficient seeds. We are ensuring that bulk aggregation is taking place. We have provided them free of cost solar-powered processing units which have washers, slicers, dryers, so on and so forth. We are eliminating the middlemen, sir. And awareness programs are being created and make sure that we got the GI tagging, sir, for it now. So Lakadong turmeric now is a GI tag to Lakadong, to the Luskin area. Now just go up, down, impact, So if you look at the impact, sir, financially, pre-mission, the price of the fresh rhizome was 25, and today it's at 40 rupees per kg. Pre-mission, the sliced dried lakadong was at 130 rupees per kg. Today, after the intervention, it is at 180 rupees per kg, sir. And the powder, which used to sell at 220 rupees pre-mission, today is selling at 300 rupees per kg. Just go on the left side now. That's, yeah, table, yeah. And this is an example of one farmer, sir, who has a 0.5 hectare land with him. And if you look at what we did in the interventions, like for example, the seeds. We gave the person seeds, 750 of them at the rate of 20. Then after that, in the production, if you look at it, sir, because of that intervention we did, the production went up from 1,250 to 3,000 kgs. And the seeds for the next season also increased from 450 to 600. The sale of fresh rhizome also went up from 450 to 600. Then the fresh rhizome processing went up from 1,350 to 1,800 kgs. And then after that, as I said, the sale of that also went up from 270 to 360. So if you look at the numbers at the bottom, sir, that ultimately because of this, the profit that the person used to get, a 0.5 hectare landowner, who used to get 31,000 rupees in the program or the mission, now post the mission today is almost getting triple the amount of profit that they used to get before this program had started. This is a live example, sir. We're not making these numbers up. Next. Sir, next, yeah. So these are some examples. Again, these are the food processing units which we have actually put up, sir. So first one is in Umdihar. This is a very great example. If you look at it, sir, these are basically about 290 metric tons of pineapple has been processed here till date, sir. About 18 multiple producer groups are supplying their products to these processing units, and they don't have to sell it outside in the market, or they don't have to, wait or be worried about their products getting spoiled, sir. And the price realization for the farmers has gone up by 90% because of this intervention, sir. And today the trade from here is almost more than 39 lakhs that they've achieved. And you'll be happy to know, sir, the powder, pineapple powder that is made from here today is used in baby foods in Switzerland. This is what's happening, example of just one product that we're talking about. So the right one is the Rongara plant, which I inaugurated recently. So this is a completely solar powered unit. About 700 metric tons of jackfruit will be processed here every year. And obviously other products also will be included. 8,000 farmers are going to benefit from this project. 8,000 farmers, sir. So you can imagine the kind of impact, and these are just two of them, sir, out of the 300 that we have created that I'm showing you. I don't have time to show all the pictures, but there are 300 plus, some smaller, some bigger, but this is the revolution that we're creating at the grassroots level for the farmers. So next. So another very important program for us is this early childhood program. Again, the last line is important. So the investment of every dollar we make, this is an international study, sir, not given by us, but the agencies like the ADB, which is funding this, these are reports that have come out through different agencies. Sir, $1 investment in early childhood development gives a return of $15 to $17 in return if you invest $1 also on a child. So this is important to note. Why? Because we have neglected this for many years. For the first time, and maybe this is in the entire country, this is the first time in the largest such program where we are intervening in a scientific manner to ensure that the full potential of a child comes out. So a child's brain grows the maximum between the age of 1 and 8. And hence, we need to ensure that the right nutrition is given, right facilities are given, and right opportunities are given. This particular project, which is worth almost close to 300 crores, is going to help us make this intervention, and state government will also put in more funds from its side to augment the efforts of this particular scheme and this program. Next. Sir, education, as we've always said, is one of the biggest priorities of this government. So 244 government schools, LP schools, and higher secondary schools are there. You can see the list, sir. So you will be surprised to know that these schools for the last 30 to 50 years were completely neglected. There was not a single, real project that was taken up to improve the overall condition and overall infrastructure in these schools. It is this MDA government, sir. In the last 4 years, we came out with Mission Education. We spent 326 crores. And today, sir, if you look at the second column, 1,740 LP schools, the work is in progress. 11 schools that are there, secondary schools, work is in progress, sir. The lower primary schools, again, 100 new buildings, sir. There are 80 in progress, 20 completed. So on and so forth. The first time there is actually a mission mode, effort to ensure that the quality of our educational infrastructure comes out and improves. And the House will be happy to know, which I've mentioned in my budget, that it is going to go up. We're going to come up with Mission 2, where we're going to provide electricity, water supply, and furnitures also to all these schools. Next. So sports infrastructure, again, these are great numbers. So in the last 6 years, we have allocated 701 crores for development of sports infrastructure like never ever before, sir. So if you look at the numbers, there are total 300 sports infrastructures in the state. Out of these 300 infrastructures, 122 were constructed in the last 3 years, which means 40% of all the sports infrastructure in the state was made in the last 3 years of this MDA government, sir. This is a kind of focus with which we are moving forward. And as we speak, 200 crores of projects are in the pipeline to be finalized. And obviously, sir, I don't have to speak about other projects like our projects for the Meghalaya Games that are happening now on a regular basis, so on and so forth. And sir, in Mokunu, the last line, very crucial, sir, we will be building one of the largest sports complexes in the state, sir, where we'll be having almost 20,000 seating capacity stadium, and we'll be having Olympic-sized swimming pool and other facilities, as I said, at a cost of 350 crores. Next. So, continuing with sports, we also would like to share with the House and with the public at large that this STAR program of government of Meghalaya is one of the most unique programs any government has done, sir. It's a very simple thing. If you look at the bottom of the pyramid, it shows 14,500 children across the state who were scientifically tested, sir. There are international norms on the physical ability of a kid, like, vertical jump, like crisscrossing, I don't know the technical name, but there are different ways, and the sprint, 10-meter sprint, 20-meter sprint. So these scientific tests are universal standards. What we did was we got professionals from outside, abroad, brought them here and asked them to test our children. They tested in the first phase 14,500 of them. Out of them, they found that 200 had high potential, which is the green. And out of these 200, there were 11 of them who had potential at the level of what international athletes have, sir. These are children from villages, sir, who never even knew that they had the talent that they were able to pick out. If you go to the next slide. Next. You'll see the names of these 11 children, sir. So these are all from mostly rural area. And they have skills which is at par with super athletes who have the same capacity like in the US and in Australia. That's the kind of skill these children have. They would never have come to know about their talent, or we would have never come to know because they never had the opportunity. We are selecting and picking these children at a young age of 12, 13, 14, nurturing them, giving them the psychological support, giving them the physical training, giving them then the nutritional training, making sure their education continues so that they don't compromise on that, and preparing them so that they become medal winners for us at the national games and maybe, hopefully one day, even at the Olympics. And if you don't do this scientific approach, and if you only wait for the child to then come out and at the age of 18, 19, 20 and then realize that he or she was actually good, it's too late, sir. All countries that do well follow this scientific approach. Meghalaya is one of the first few states in the country that is doing this particular scientific approach. Next. And so in this also, I just want to share some concerns were raised about the Khelo India program, sir. Sir, we have been discussing and continuing. No projects are as such cancelled. We will continue to follow up with Government of India. The sanctions are made at the Government of India level. We of course propose many projects, but all don't get sanctioned. And these things are always, as I said, at the discretion of Government of India. But sir, we are following up all the projects and hoping that we'll be able to get more. Next. Yeah, this one. No, up. Yes, Meghalaya. Sir, again, yes, Meghalaya is again a very unique scheme. Again, sticking with the youth, because this is again one of the 10 guarantees that we're giving. This is the youth aspect and also the opportunities in it. So again, a small example where almost close to 1,431 groups have been given almost 5 crores in the last many years, about 3 years, 4 years of this program that we had started. A very, very unique, a very simple program where any youth group or sports group or cultural group can apply and get support of up to 1 lakh rupees for any positive and constructive activity that they would like to do. It could be cultural aspect, it could be sports aspect, it could be music aspect, it could be language aspects, sir. So therefore, we are promoting and allowing the youth to do different programs. And this year alone, sir, we have budgeted 20 crores to be given to different youth groups to be able to achieve and to be able to fund it, sir. So also this thing, we've expanded the entire scope of work by ensuring that we are able to give not just sports and music, but cultural aspect also. We feel culture is important. We feel if you want to promote our culture and our languages, then we need to ensure that we are able to support them, sir. We are, as a state government, trying very hard to get the recognition for our languages in the 8th schedule, and therefore this particular effort will only help us to be able to achieve this particular goal. I'm so very saddened to see some news by some individuals in the past few days about certain blame towards the government about the inclusion of certain languages in the 8th schedule, and blaming the Honorable Chief Minister and the government that we are blocking the entire process of Khasi language coming in because Garo language is not being included, sir. Sir, this is a really ridiculous kind of blame that the individuals are making towards the government. Sir, in the last many years, no language has got any kind of recognition. The last was done, if I'm not wrong, in 2003-04. And therefore, the question of anybody blocking any language does not occur, sir. And therefore, I don't understand why this kind of unnecessary comments are made. The individuals who look into this aspect, sir, should do their research and find out, then rather than just trying to play to the gallery and trying to create confusion among the public. So we as a government are committed and we will move forward. It is the government of India that will decide which particular language should come in the 6th schedule and not, 8th schedule or not. And it is not up to the state government to block any language. Whichever language meets the specifications and requirements will get, sir. So therefore, these kind of allegations are baseless, and I thought I would make this point, sir, during my reply. Next. Sir, of course, health is again one of the commitments that we have given. If you look at the health budget again, sir, the first line, from 980 crores, today we are spending 1,970 crores. Sir, I'm happy to inform the House that Meghalaya is the highest spender in terms of percentage of GSDP in health sector. We spend more than 8% of our budget on health, sir. It's a clear indication of the commitment of this government to ensure that health is given a priority. If you look at the impact of that, sir, we have seen 50% drop in the maternal mortality rate, sir. We have seen the infants, 87% of infants have been brought under the immunization program, sir. We have started 137 transit homes for providing shelter to pregnant mothers, and so on and so forth. There are many areas where we have been able to give the benefit of health to the public at large. Next. So again, this is a small example of the projects going on. Again, another externally aided project of about 371 crores, and the work is moving where many other departments, CHCs, PHCs and sub-centers are being upgraded, and this project is doing very well. Even the MHIS is another scheme which is doing very well, where Government of Meghalaya is spending close to 174 crores annually. Next. Again, sir, a small example of different health infrastructures that are coming up throughout the state. Again, another reflection of the kind of importance that we are giving to the health sector. Next. Again, sir, another example of different CHCs coming up all across the state. Next. Sir, again, these are some of the very great projects that will come up in the next 2 to 3 years, sir. This is a glimpse of what we are trying to do. So this is the Maumulu Cave, the Meghalayan Age experience in Sora. This project has been sanctioned at 32 crores, and we expect to complete this design and this implementation in the next 2 years. Next. So this is the Mollendep Hospitality Complex, the Eco Resort. Again, at a cost of 30 crores, we will be completing this also within the next 2 to 3 years' time, sir. Next. So this is the Tura Convention Center that was, as the work is going on, it's a 56 crore project, and this will be state-of-the-art convention center where we will have different facilities for conferences, having large public programs and an amphitheater also. Next. So this is a Unity Mall that we have proposed. In fact, so this is the document for the Unity Mall, and I just want to share, sir, with you that today Meghalaya has got the expertise today to make these kind of DPRs in matter of weeks. There was a time when it used to take about a year for us to prepare these kind of documents. But today, because of the capacity building and because of the support that we have, in matter of weeks, we're able to prepare this. And you'll be happy to know, sir, that Meghalaya was one of the first states to receive sanction for the Unity Mall in the entire country. And one of the highest amounts also has been sanctioned for us. And Government of India has congratulated the state government for this unique design and the quick work that was done. And the sanction has already been given to us. This is about 220 crores, which will be coming up in Sauli side, near the new secretariat in the new administrative complex. Next. So this, of course, is the urban transformation. This is what Shillong will become in the next years to come, sir. 1,200 crores to be spent on the administrative city, 5,400 crores to be spent on the knowledge city. So we will see Shillong transform after this investment, apart from the other investments which we're anyway making. An additional amount of close to 7,000 crores will be spent to transform Shillong city. And sir, this will be one of the most important, growth drivers for the state. And we will see things absolutely transform. And as a capital of our state, Shillong has been, in a way, not getting the kind of expansion and the investment that is required. And hence, this project has come up. And I'm happy to inform the House that the work for this already DPR stage is on. We expect that in the coming financial year that this particular project, the work for this will start. Next. So, sir, with this, I once again would like to thank all the members. I have taken note of all the concerns, and I want to share with the members, sir. I have given instruction to my finance team that every single member's concern should be replied by the Finance Department, and a letter will go from my side where we will reply to all the concerns that you have expressed in the House. I may not reply to it, but we will give you a written reply and make sure all your concerns are addressed and all your information you sought or the interventions you sought will be replied to, because the members have made a very great effort in presenting their concerns, and it would be incorrect for the Finance Department and the government not to address those issues. So I assure the members you will receive a reply from me. Please do give me about 10 to 15 days to send that reply to you. And answer, to conclude, what we have done in this budget, sir, is that this is not just a budget for 2024-2025, sir. So this is a vision of what we want our state to become. This is what Meghalaya will be in the next 5 years, and the plans and the foundation being laid to make Meghalaya today, I can say we are striving to make Meghalaya a $150 billion economy in the next 30 years by 2052. And we are laying the foundation, and I've explained in my presentation to the House on how we're going to achieve it. And these numbers and this plan is not just in air, but factually that is happening, sir. With these few words, once again, I thank you, sir, for giving me this time, and I resume my seat. Thank you, sir.